The USA Archery 2020 US Open is brought to you by True Ball and Excel and Matthews. Also brought to you by PSC Archery, Hoyt Archery, Black Eagle Arrows, and Elite. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the USA Archery 2020 US Open from Richmond, Virginia. Coming at you live. I'm Greg White, sitting alongside Braden Gelantine, who will be joining me for this entire broadcast as we bring you gold medal matches for three different disciplines, Braden, I guess 2 different categories. We're going to be bringing you gold medal matches for Barebow women's, Barebow men's, compound women, compound men, and then, of course, the Olympic sport of recurve women, recurve men. And Braden Gelantine, it has been a exceptional day of archery here in Richmond today.
It's been a full day of archery for sure. The weather has not exactly cooperated with us with sunshine and calm winds, but we're here at the finals, and it's been an exciting day.
It has been an extremely exciting day, and yes, this is the second tournament of a 3-day weekend, Braden. So you have the 136th USA Archery Target Nationals and now the US Open in the same weekend. Can you kind of break that down for us for a moment?
Right, so the US Nationals is 2 72-arrow qualification days put together for a ranking for the US Open. So the 144 arrows is basically qualification for the matches, which are individual eliminations. For the recurve and barebow, they shoot set play, 2 points for winning, 1 point for a tie, 0 points for a loss, obviously. And the compound, which we'll see later on, is straight score, 5 ends of 3 arrows.
And already on the field of play is Barebow women, as they have the field. They're set and ready to roll. So we're here for Barebow Archery, and you can see our 2 competitors on the right is Chrissy Lyons from Illinois, and Chrissy is an incredible story that we'll get into. Only a year and a half shooting a bow, and in barebow competition was able to break the women's senior world record for double round scoring yesterday. As the judge is now explaining to the archers what exactly they're going to hear for this finals match.
Absolutely. Yeah, no problem.
Our second competitor on the field,
like Sherry said, when
might be familiar to some archers
and you get your bow
who watched this finals last year.
If you wanted to step back here,
is going to be Claire Xie.
And everything.
So there's a look at Chrissy, and there's Claire Xie. Of course, her first tournament in archery period was here last year, where she took gold in the competition. So very interesting, Braden, as we look at these 2 archers, Claire Xie and Chrissy Lyons. They've been shooting an cumulative, like if you look at their total archery experience, it is under 3 years between the 2 of them.
It's incredible to see archers, come out and shoot so strongly so quickly.
50 meters, or somewhere close to 55 yards for barebow competitors, and they're shooting at 122 centimeter target face. That's downrange. One of the unique things about barebow is, I think, I don't know, the camaraderie that barebow archers have, the celebration,
It's definitely a lot louder than compound and recurve archery. It's not at all like professional golf where there's a quiet clap or something when someone hits the middle. It's a loud cheer, and there's a lot more excitement and drama.
Now, if you're hearing some sounds through our microphones, you can see out on the course through the Easton flag in the background, the wind has picked up quite a bit on this field of play. And that's going to really be tricky for these barebow shooters. Now, Braden Gelantine, we talk about barebow. What is barebow?
So barebow is archery as old as time. There's no sights, there's no stabilizers. It's pretty basic as far as the technology on the bow itself, and it's just the archers and the targets 50 meters away.
All right, so we're getting ready to shoot. And whew, man, the wind has really picked up. Now, one of the things that's always interesting about Barebow archery is, unlike compound or even recurve, the way recurve's getting, is it's not always about the 10 ring or even in the yellow. It's just about scoring the maximum amount of points.
Correct.
Her number one qualifier, this is Chrissy Lyons. In her very first 50-meter round that she's ever scored, makes it to the gold medal match, and she'll start off with an 8. Claire Z launches with a 7. As we look at Chrissy Lyons back at full draw. And a 7. One of the unique stories for her was she brought her daughter to Bodock Archery in Mokina, Illinois for a normal day, like just a shoot day. And the next day she showed up and talked to Jeff Sanchez, who owns the business and is a coach, USA Archery coach, and said, I want to learn how to do this. And right from the moment go, her first arrow was an arrow where she was being coached. And that was just a year and a half ago. And look at her now, 2 8s and a 7.
Right, starting off with a coach like that is probably is the best way to do it if you're looking to become a competitive archer in the future. You don't have any bad habits. You're learning from one of the best teachers in the country right away. So it's no surprise that she's made it this far with this tutelage. It's the length of time that is impressive.
So what's happening now on the field?
So now the judge and the 2 archers' agents are down scoring the arrows, and the judge is doing all the work. The agents are just making sure that there's no like gross negligence or crazy mistakes happening. So they're scoring this target 887. We score the arrows in order of highest to lowest, not the order in which they're shot. So as you can see, Christina has 23 points for the end, whereas Claire Z has an 877 for 37, sorry, for 21. And she'll pick up 2 points versus opponent's 0 set points.
And how many points wins?
First to 6. If at the end of the 5 ends the archers are tied 5 points to 5 points, we'll have a single arrow shoot off. And if both archers score 10, we will shoot a second arrow closest to center.
Now, Braden, you've been shooting quite a while. You've been around Barebow shooting. One thing that's been great is at the beginning of 2019, World Archery basically ratified Barebow as part of World Archery. So now all of a sudden you have world records that are being scored.
Right.
Have you noticed anything in terms of watching Barebow shooters and how they actually approach the sport compared to where it was, say, even 5 or 10 years ago?
Yeah. So Barebow has always been an extremely competitive division where the archers have been, you've been seeing point jumps every time someone comes out. Someone learns how to shoot a 510, the next person learns how to shoot a 520. But recently, in the last couple of years, since it's kind of gotten into the Olympics, the World Archery Organization, you've seen a lot of the Barebow shooters transition into more of a competitive recurve style form.
Right.
So they're learning a lot of the biomechanics and things like that. That's really upping their game. So I think in the next 2 or 3 years, we're going to see even further jumps in that score and performance.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. It is that way in all sports, isn't it? It's like, oh, if this speed is possible as a runner, this time is possible as a runner, or this height as a jumper. Once somebody just kind of breaks that ceiling, then it all of a sudden seems like there's multiple people that can do it.
Right, exactly. Once one person learns how to train properly, the next person learns how to improve upon it.
So this will be our second end of competition. If you're new to archery, that's the way we define sets of arrows being shot. So in this particular case, it's 3 arrows per end.
Right, and you'll notice that the trailing archer will always lead.
Claire Z with a good release. That one looks like it's going to drift high into the 6 ring.
You're going to see some vertical stringing of the arrows in every division, not just right to left wind as you're seeing, because there is a headwind.
Can't see that one on our screen, but
It's a 4 high right.
okay. Braden actually has a spotting scope here.
Oh, what a beautiful shot. There it is.
Oh, a beautiful 10 for Claire Z. And you'll see inside that 10 ring, there's actually another ring that's smaller in the middle. And so for Chrissy, a 6.
A 5 or better will clinch the set. There it is. Wow, right in the middle. You can definitely tell she's getting her 0 out here in the wind, and I'm expecting another good end next time.
All right, let's talk about that. When you talk about getting your 0, what do you mean?
So whenever you do a final setting or change in weather conditions, you're not going to impact exactly what you're expecting, and you're going to have to make adjustments. For Barebow, they're using the point of the arrow or a mark on their riser to aim on the target. So even though they don't have a physical actual sight, they're using something for alignment. So it seems like she's found that location, a sweet spot to aim in the wind, and her form is on point. So she's able to put a good group. And I wouldn't be surprised if Chrissy Lyons adjusts hers lower left now.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. You can see that this 122 centimeter target, which also means that that 10 ring is 12.2 centimeters in diameter. You can see the points value for each of those rings, 10, 9, 8, and so on. So obviously you just look at the point value in that ring, and that's what they score. So Claire Z will get that set point, upper left-hand part of your screen. Chrissy Lyons, 2 points, Claire Z, 2 points, so we're all tied up.
Right, now that we're back to an all-squared 2-2 tie, Chrissy will lead because she led the first end of the match.
Some great shots from Claire Z. As you can see, she's really starting to find her rhythm. Just stormed onto this Barebow scene last year as an unknown and put on quite a show for the fans. Kind of unique for us in USA Archery this particular year, Braden. You've been to many US Opens in your career, won many, but I think the rain is really the amount of rain we had, which we're really fortunate right now to only really have wind, where we had wind and rain earlier. There was so much rain, decimated part of the shooting fields, and a lot of people decided, as they were so waterlogged, to go ahead and head home at this point. So we don't have a tremendous crowd like we normally do here, but we have enough hardcore archery fans that stayed. So on to end number 3. 1.5 years behind the bow. Was the #1 American in Las Vegas for a female in Barebow this year was Chrissy Lyons. She sends a 7 down there, and you can see she's consistently on that right side.
She's got an incredible grouping.
Oh yeah, you're right.
She's found her spot.
Mm-hmm. So like Braden mentioned, Chrissy has really got to kind of find what Claire Z has found, or this match is going to slip through her fingers quickly.
Starting to work it down into the middle. Wow, that's incredible to be doing that without a physical sight or stabilizers, or it's a clicker. So many things that the recurve shooters take for granted. It's a clean shot.
Clean shot, drops it into the 8. So 23 right now for Chrissy.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Another X ring.
We may not see another group that tight out of a recurve bow today.
I mean, she knows it too. Claire is absolutely shredding right now and gets another couple set points. You can see the targets as we walk toward them for scoring. What you're not seeing right now is actually in the top of those target bales are flags. And Braden, as we look down our 50 meters, if you're just joining us, it's 50 meters downrange to 122 centimeter target face. At this gold medal match field, we do have some indicators. We have flags all around, but if you are looking down there as an archer, what are the things you're looking for to kind of get an idea of which way your arrow is going to be drifting?
So primarily you're looking to see which direction the wind's coming from. So obviously we've got a right to left wind coming across. Next you're going to be looking at the speed at which the flag is whipping, so that you can get a read on how far to aim off in that direction. And the third thing you're going to be looking for is whether that flag is tailing towards you or away, so that you can get a judge for elevation as well, because the wind, when it's blowing this hard, can definitely affect an arrow's height as well as its impact left and right.
I mean, how do you even figure that out, Braden? Is it just experience, or?
Honestly, it's a lot of experience. There's no mathematical way to tell, how hard the flag's whipping to where to aim, and anytime there's a difference in feet per second for the speed of the bow, that's going to make an adjustment as well.
The USA Archery 2020 US Open gold medal match between Chrissy Lyons and Claire Z. As we head into our 4th end, Claire Z has an opportunity here to walk away with a gold medal. If she can close this out, it'll be 6-2 Claire. So here we go.
Right, so we need a tie or a win for Chrissy to move into set 4. Moving to set 5, sorry.
Yeah, set 5, that's right. Second shot clock. Chrissy trying to get set. There's only 8 seconds remaining on the clock for her. She draws back with 6, 4, 3, and she launches it. And still, I think that with the amount of time running off the clock to get that 8-7 line, Claire Xie has paused because her clock hasn't actually started yet, so it's still hung up on 20 seconds. So technically, by the rules, it would be a violation if she shot before the clock started.
Correct. So she's going to wait for that light to turn green and her clock to start counting down before she's going to lose her arrow.
You can see the flags at the top of those, above the 1 and the 2. So there's been a pause in action, as there's just a slight pause with the actual scoring system, which honestly, with the amount of rain we've had here and the amount of electronic devices that are on this course, doesn't surprise me that there's a glitch in the system. So
here we go, we're back to action.
Left-hand part of your screen, you can see that shot clock.
Beautiful, she's on a tear.
Braden and I both look at each other and are just shaking our head in just amazement of how great Claire Xie is shooting. Even if there wasn't wind, she's still putting up an incredible score.
Chrissy's got a great group up there. Just needs to make the adjustment to aim a little further to the left. But it's tough to keep up with a competitor that's on a roll like that.
Trying to make it 2 in a row for Claire Xie from Texas. Chrissy Lyons trying to extend this match. She's got to put it in the middle. Oh, it drops that one into the 7 ring. This could be it for Claire Xie. The gold medal shot.
5 or better.
And she does it.
Incredible.
A 9. And a big smile from Claire Xie. We'll have to go down and confirm those scores. But as Claire is now getting confirmation that she just wrapped up the gold medal.
You could tell she was so zoned in and you know, focused just on the process itself. She wasn't even aware that the tournament was over.
So judge will go down and confirm those scores. So Claire Xie, back-to-back nationals, stormed onto the scene with hardly any experience. A competitive firearm shooter in her day. Has now got another gold medal. USA Archery 2020 US Open for Barebow. We await official confirmation, where just off to Claire Xie's left is an official judge that will get the word from our scorers table. So there we go. An applause from the crowd and official confirmation that Claire Xie wins the gold medal. And in her very first effort, first ever 50-meter match, Chrissy Lyons will have silver medal and get to stand on the podium later on today. Well, Braden, our first match is in the books, and even in these conditions, I mean, really grateful that the wind has, or the rain has stopped, at least for the moment, because it is all around us.
Right.
She's on headset.
And now Claire Xie is joining us. Claire, congratulations on an outstanding shoot. That was unbelievable. How did you pull that out after that first end? You seem to really have figured out the wind.
Yeah, I was trying to compensate the wind and the rain, so I aimed too high. And for the second one and third end, I just aimed lower.
You seemed awfully happy. You had some smiles on your face in those ends. Did you surprise yourself at some of the shots you were making, and especially those ones in the X-ring? I mean, it was unbelievable.
Yes, I was surprised, considering I don't have enough practice for the whole year.
And how do you feel, back-to-back champ?
I feel it's incredible. To be honest, I didn't expect this.
Well, you did it. Congratulations,
Thank
and it was
you.
exciting to watch. Thanks so much, and congratulations on your gold.
Thank you.
Braden, you've been in those shoes before.
Yeah, it's always exciting, and a lot of times it feels more like a relief than an exhilaration.
So there is the women's barebow. Gold medal decided. Congratulations to Claire Xie on an outstanding performance. And Chrissy Lyons will remember this one as her first 50-meter scoring tournament, where she put on a tremendous performance as well.
That's a good feeling to know I can make this bow do whatever I want it to do and it will react.
This thing is just so much more stable, and it just controls an arrow so well.
Coolest part about it is all you need is a Torx wrench and a couple Allen wrenches, and you can just stand there on a line. You don't have to run and put it in the press and move those shims. This is a dream to work with right now.
One chance, one moment, one shot.
Announcing the new patent-pending CarboFlax stabilizers. A biocomposite blend of carbon and flax. Flax plant yields a natural fiber with very advanced properties. Flax offers 3 times the vibration dampening of glass and 20% more than carbon. Natural composites are up to 15% lower weight than carbon fiber. TrueBall Excel. We make archery better.